Hello, everyone. Welcome. I am so excited to be here. I am Bianca Jane. I'm that plant-based weight loss coach, and I have a beautiful, beautiful guest with me today, and I'm so excited. So this is Terri Chrisman, and Terri is a renowned speaker, podcaster, author, board-certified nutritionist, and so much more, right? So much more. I do not want to do you any injustice. And she has a huge passion for empowering individuals to reclaim their health, just like us, just like me as well. And she combines cutting edge science with actionable strategies to prevent chronic disease and illness and inspire lasting lifestyle transformation. And I think that's the key with us today. So, Terri, welcome. Did I miss anything? Did I
Yeah,
miss anything on that?
you forgot that I'm a doggy mummy.
And she's a wonderful mum to two dogs, and I know that because I've spent many of calls with Terri and the dogs. So
That's right. They like to be involved. Hello, everybody.
they
Hi, Bianca. It's
absolutely
great to
do.
be here.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here. We've done a video a long time ago, and I thought it was about time to do another video, get you in front of these beautiful women inside this group and on the YouTube channel where this will also take a wonderful comfy seat. So for those of you who don't know yet, who don't know you yet, would you be able to just share a little bit about your background, kind of what led you to the world of plant-based nutrition and health coaching to start off with?
Well, I think that it started a long, long time ago. I was a bit of a chunkus malunkus child, and I was put on a diet when I was 4 by the doctors back in the 70s. That's how old I am. Back in the 70s, there weren't too many fat children. So they thought there was something wrong with me. Plus, my dad's family were all obese and always struggling with their weight. And when I was 25, my dad died suddenly and instantly of a massive heart attack. And it came out of nowhere. And he thought he was looking after his health. And his doctors basically didn't give him any indication that there was something wrong, and they didn't tell him how to look after his health or anything like that. I think he might have been on high blood pressure medications or something like that. And it was always on diet pills, which were basically speed at the time. Imagine if you could buy those now, what fun you'd have, right? They're not available anymore, so no fun. So I've always had an interest in health, and in the beginning, in my teens and my early 20s, and even into my 30s, I focused mainly on exercise. It's not that I ignored nutrition altogether. I thought I was eating the healthiest diet. I was vegetarian. I thought I was saving the cows, and I was doing all the things through exercise, and it worked. I was young, and I was running marathons, and I was lifting heavy weights, and I was doing all the things, and things like that work for you when you're young. And over time, I started reading the research, and I realized that the dairy and the eggs were not doing me any favors. And then I went and got a master's in nutrition, and then I started helping people. So it was kind of like a long evolution to become the person I am now.
Mm.
But I've always been on that health kind of trajectory, I guess, looking after myself first and then looking after other people.
Brilliant, brilliant. So it's been kind of like a long time coming. And you've recently published a book as well. What a huge, huge milestone, fabulous health. Huge congratulations to you. I'm so proud.
Thank
I
you.
feel
There
like
it
I might have
is.
been the
If you
one
want
of
one.
I think I might have been one of the first to order. Like even before you managed to get it on Amazon, I was like, I am there. I'm getting that on my bedside table right now. So what inspired you to write Fabulous Health and why?
Okay, I'll be brutally honest here. I found working with individual clients really emotionally taxing. I felt that I was responsible for their outcomes. So if I had a client that was taking my advice and doing all the things and getting results, I was like, yeah, everything golden and fantastic, right? But if I had a client who missed coming to, meetings and didn't do their homework and avoided me and didn't see the results, I was like, oh, what have I done wrong? I need to fix this person. I was like a fixer.
Hmm.
And I found that really difficult to deal with because I think deep down inside my heart, I felt like if I could save somebody else, it was kind of like me saving my dad. And I couldn't save my dad because he died when I was young and I had no nutrition knowledge whatsoever, right? So there was nothing I could have done to prevent that from happening. So something deep inside of me was saying, well, if you can save these people, you can make up for not being able to help your dad. But it just became too much for me. I just found that it was too emotional for me. And I thought, well, I still want to help people. What can I do to help as many people as possible? And I thought, I'll write a book. And then I can sell hundreds of thousands of them and I can help hundreds of thousands of people. And they can either read the book and take the advice and get great results, or they can buy the book and put it on their shelf and not look at it and not get results. But I don't feel personally responsible for that. And I know that's probably an egotistical thing, but I also wanted to help more people. When I was working with clients one on one, I could help one person every hour, say, max. When I have a book, I can help an enormous amount of people. And I'm also starting a speaking career as well. So I want to get on stage and I want to help people en masse.
Brilliant. That's amazing. So to really touch everyone and share this information that you weren't able to give to your father, but with everyone and as many people as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Amazing.
just like you, Bianca, I think we have a passion for helping people.
Mm.
And it does feel good when somebody takes your advice and sees lasting change. So, and I kind of think that about everybody in the plant-based space because I think we've all read the science and we've all seen the amazing benefits of moving from that unhealthy Western diet full of animal products and dairy and eggs and ultra processed foods. And we've seen so many people, whether they be our clients or other people's clients, maybe on Forks Over Knives, you see there's 7,000 people that they've got befores and afters or whatever. And I think we all are on the same path. We all want to help people be as healthy as they can be. And unfortunately, the sickness statistics over the last 30 years just keep getting worse and worse and worse. And I think when there's a undercurrent of health professionals like you, like me, like all the plant-based doctors and health coaches, that I'm hoping that we'll see that illness trajectory mellow down and we'll start seeing a health trajectory increase in the Western world at least.
Absolutely. The more people that buy your book, the more people that jump onto these channels, the healthier and the better that trajectory is going to look for sure.
That's right.
For
Yeah.
sure. So something that I hear a lot, Terry, of women in my own coaching practice is kind of like there's a lot of confusion around plant-based eating. So I know that you've had a lot of experience with one-to-one as well. So what do you think are the biggest like misunderstandings, misconceptions that people might have about plant-based eating?
Oh, how much time do you have, Bianca? there are
I've
so
got
many
about 11
misconceptions.
questions, so you're probably going to have to
I'll
keep it
be quick,
short.
right? So the biggest one is that they're going to starve to death because they're not getting all the nutrients that they need
Mm.
and that they're not going to get protein. And I actually did a podcast with a guy in England the other day called Callum Weir, Plant Fueled Podcast. And he said it beautifully. He said, people think they're going to turn into a limp noodle, which I just
Absolutely.
absolutely loved. And look, if going plant based took you from an overweight person who was suffering from disease into a limp noodle, instantly everybody would be doing it, right? Because everybody wants to be thin,
Yeah.
irrespective of the health, right? So
Yeah.
it's just not true. And yes, thinness can come along with metabolic benefits, but the fact of the matter is the plant-based lifestyle will take people from ill to healthy. It may take people from overweight to normal weight,
Hmm.
but there's work to be done,
Mm.
right? So, number one, you're not instantly going to become a skinny little stick figure that is deprived of nutrients. That's not true at all. And in fact, a lot of people who are eating the Western diet are actually deficient in nutrients as they stand. And it's quite
Anyway, yeah.
possible to be overweight and nutrient deficient or undernourished.
Hmm.
And that's because they're not getting all those nutrients from those whole plant foods. So, number one, you're going to increase your nutrients and you're going to decrease your processed foods, your saturated fat, your hormones, your antibiotics, all the nasty things that cause you to be sick. And I think people need to understand that this is a benefit. It's not going to be difficult. The other thing they think is that it's going to be too hard, right? They're going to be going, oh, I don't know what to do. It's going to be too hard. And that's why I wrote this book, because it's a step by step plan that takes people from where they are to where they're going to be, not from 0 to 100 in 5 seconds, from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, so that they can gradually change their lifestyle. And as they do that, they'll see the benefits in their health. But so I would say, just to get back to your question, because I know I'm rambling, number one, that you're going to be undernourished, and number two, you're not going to get any protein, and both those things are completely false.
Absolutely. And I just like to be if you're watching this, you'll get what I'm about to do. But if you're listening to this, you probably won't. But I like to say when people say to me, "Oh, like how are you going to get enough protein?" I just do that, and I'm
Do
like,
it.
do I
Yeah.
look protein? Does that look protein deficient to you? If you're listening to this, I'm just flexing my arms, right? And I just point to my arms and I point to myself, and I'm like, do I look nutrient deficient? Look at the person next to me, right? Drinking a beer, eating a steak, eating chips. That does not look healthy. One of
Yeah.
the most healthiest diets on the planet, and people are concerned that they're going to be malnourished. I think it's like with any diet, you can always be malnourished if you're just not paying attention to what you're eating.
Yeah. Absolutely. And one of the things too that clears up very quickly is people's skin. So, and I don't want this to be like the panacea of, plant-based versus not plant-based, but if somebody is unhealthy, you'll see it in their skin. They might have rosacea, they'll be blotchy, maybe not acne, but red and blotchy, uneven skin tone.
Hmm.
And that's inflammation.
Hmm.
And once you reduce that inflammation, you'll find that people's skin texture improves, the color improves. It's a much more of a solid color without being blotchy, and the rosacea goes away. That's pretty instant when people start nourishing their body with whole plant foods.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy when we start recognizing that the food that we put in our body, and this is something that I didn't realize when I first started looking into nutrition. I had no idea that the food impacts our body. I was so clueless, so clueless. And until we start listening to things like this podcast, these videos, we then start realizing that, hang on a second, everything that I put into my body is going to have a different impact, positive or negative.
Mm.
And like you said, you can clear up skin problems, you can clear up excess weight and your internal organs along with that. And speaking of that, so I know from the women that I work with, things like fatigue, hormone imbalances, obviously stubborn body weight, these are all very common from the women that I specifically really see. So, I mean, what do you tend to see the most often in terms of illness and disease? And, just very quickly, how can whole food plant-based help with that?
So the thing I saw with my clients is that their blood pressure was high. They were going on cholesterol medication. It was mostly that, hang on a minute, I've put on a few pounds, we care about the way we look, etc. But it was more like, why am I on blood pressure meds? And now the doctor wants me to go on insulin, or now the doctor wants me to go on some statins. And they start to see the downward spiral
Mhm.
happening, and they want to reverse the downward spiral. So that's pretty much what my clientele was based on. It's like, I feel sick, I want to be not sick. And I had this one client, and she came to me, and she was 250 pounds, and she had chronic pain, and she would have to go to sleep during the day, and she worked for herself. And so when she had naps during the day, it interrupted her workflow, and she ended up, like, it became financially a problem because she wasn't making as much money as she needed to. Within 2 weeks of going on the plant-based program that I put her on, she reduced all the pain across the back of her shoulders, so her neck could turn like this. And for you and I, whose necks turn normally, you would think, what do you mean her neck can't turn? But when
Mm,
you have chronic pain and you can't turn your neck, that's a real big thing. It impacts your life on a daily basis. And the
mm,
other thing was that she wasn't needing to take naps anymore. Now, she didn't lose weight for another couple of weeks. Like, she was kind of the same weight, but what she was doing was she was just reducing that inflammation. And all of a sudden, her muscles calmed down and her need to sleep just vanished. And I think people overestimate the desire for weight loss, and they underestimate all the other lovely things that are going to happen to them. And when they do happen to them, it's a real surprise. It's like, oh, wow, I can move my shoulders. I couldn't
mm.
move my shoulders before. What's that got to do with food? You know? So
Yeah,
that's what I find. And I find that's the best thing, because when people look at the scale and the scale doesn't move, they get discouraged. But when they go, hang on a minute, I don't feel sleepy in the afternoon anymore, or my knee doesn't hurt anymore and I can walk up the block, then it keeps them going because they know good things are happening inside their bodies that they can't necessarily see or measure.
100%. And you're a lifestyle disease expert as well. So not only are these things going to impact diabetes or create diabetes, cardiovascular disease, obesity, some cancers, things like hypertension, depression, Alzheimer's, all of these lifestyle diseases, right? It is also down to the kind of like the granular impact as well, like you said, is the energy, the movement, being able to look left and right at a traffic light
Mm.
stop. I bet she didn't
Mm.
realize how much traffic was coming to her until she couldn't move her
Yeah,
head.
exactly.
That's then going to have a ripple effect into your work, your relationships, your
Mm.
finances,
Mood, definitely
moods.
mood.
Yeah,
Always grumpy when you're in pain, right? You and I
absolutely.
both know that. You've had a back problem. I had a back problem. Short term, acute injury type situation. And we know when you're in pain, you are a grumpy person, not nice to
100%.
be around. And so to get rid of that pain and change your whole outlook it's like, oh, it's
And
like
we
the,
can do
you
that by
know,
eating more food as well. Like we can do that
yeah.
by eating more. Like typically you can eat so much more in terms of volume compared
Mm,
to a processed food, processed diet. So like a lot of clients come to me and they're like, what do you mean you want me to eat more? Like one of my
mm,
first tasks for a client is to start eating more foods of the right foods, but more
mm.
foods. And yeah, so all of these things can improve, including your mood, including your relationships, including your finances, by eating more. And it's just eating more of the right food. And I think that's another misconception as well that a lot of people get is you have to starve. You have to starve yourself.
Yeah, well, there is that calories in, calories out thing. And look, it is a universal law that if you eat more calories than you burn, you're likely to put on more weight. But it holds true for the Western diet more so than it holds true for the whole plant food diet. So,
Mm,
for example, if you eat like 12 let's say 1,500 calories of Big Macs. So that's like three Big Macs or two and a half Big Macs or something. Um, but you eat 2,000 calories of salad. And I'm not suggesting everybody just eat salad or Big Macs, just bear with me. The 2,000 calories of salad are not going to put on as much weight as the 1,500 calories of Big Macs. But you still do need to be aware of the amount of food that you eat, but you are able to eat more food on a whole plant food diet. So, for example, your excess calories that you eat of the Big Macs are going to be stored as fat, but your excess calories of your kale, for example, it's metabolically not able to be stored as fat. What will be stored as fat is the cheese and the nuts and the dressing and the oil that you put on the kale, right? So you've got to be careful about, you think you're eating healthy salad and then you cover it in croutons and bacon and creamy sauces, and that defeats the purpose. But that's why people like you, Bianca, are so awesome, because your program teaches people about those things. How can you have a yummy salad that's got a lovely dressing on it that's not covered in croutons and bacon bits and cheese? So thank you
Mm,
for that.
yeah, for sure. Thank you for the little plug there. So, you describe your book as like a simple plan. So, for someone who's overwhelmed, maybe new to plant-based, new to veganism, new to the whole food plant-based kind of realm, which is all a mouthful to say, what's like this? Where's the simplest place to start, would you recommend?
So in the book, I wish I could find the page, but maybe I can't. In the book, I have a list of plant foods. I think it's over 200 plant foods that you can highlight in your book. There's the page. You know, I don't expect you to be able to read that, obviously, but you can see it's tables of
I
plant
should have
foods.
grabbed my copy. I
And
didn't think about it. I have my
yeah.
copy next door.
And so what I want people to do is just get a highlighter and highlight the things that you already like.
Hmm.
And you might think, I don't like plant-based foods. They're hideous. Yeah. But hang on a minute. Apples are in there. Bananas are in there. Strawberries are in there. Um, lemons are in there. Popcorn is in there. Do you like popcorn? That's a plant-based food. So there's lots and lots of foods that a normal average person that doesn't know anything about plant-based eating will already like and
Hmm.
already be eating. So once you've got that list of plant-based foods that you're already eating, just start eating more of those.
Mm,
So
yeah.
that's the first thing to do. And then
Mm,
that's like the no-brainer start, because you're already eating them, just eat more of them
mm,
and eat more of them at the expense of the unhealthy foods. So, for example, if in the afternoon you go to the Starbucks or whatever coffee shop and you get yourself a muffin and a coffee, instead of getting a coffee with with dairy milk, get a coffee with plant-based milk, ditch all the extra sugary syrups and cream and stuff. Just get a regular coffee with some plant-based milk. And instead of your muffin, just get a banana or an orange or an apple or something healthy, whole food, plant-based. Look, as you get better, you may make your own muffins. But let's say we're right at the very, very beginning. We're just going to swap that muffin for a banana. It's
mhm,
going to fill you up the same amount. It's actually going to have more lasting energy than your muffin, because your muffin's going to have lots of sugar in it. It's going to have some white flour. It's going to have all sorts of stuff in it that's going to give you a massive sugar high, which means you're going to get lots of energy. And then it's going to give you a massive sugar crash, because your insulin gets released out of your pancreas and brings your blood sugar down, and then you're going to go to sleep. So just start with stuff that you already know. Then what you want to do, the second step, is find recipes that are your very favorite recipes and look at the plant-based substitutes that you could substitute out the meat for. And one of my favorite substitutes is substitute out minced beef or minced turkey or minced pork or whatever mince you use in your meaty recipe, and sub it out for lentils. And if
mhm.
that's too scary, just do
Grab
half
a
and half.
can of tinned lentils. It's the
Yeah, that's right.
easiest
You don't even
thing.
need to cook them, right?
No cooking. Just drain them, rinse them,
Yeah.
boom, done.
Yeah. And look, if you right at the very, very beginning, do three quarters, one quarter, then the next time do half, half, then the next time, so you're just kind of tricking yourself into eating these more plant-based foods. Yeah. And if you've got children who are a bit kind of reticent to try new stuff, the trick that I have is just get a bunch of veggies, blend them up with a can of tomatoes, and add that to everything. So if you're going to do a soup or a stew or a curry or anything like that, put that tomatoey veggie mix into it. They won't even know it is extra vegetables, because it'll be within the sauce. So that's
Mhm.
a sneaky thing. And then once you've mastered that, then go back to your list in the book, go back to your list and look at new things and choose one new thing that you'd like to try a week. Maybe one fruit or one veggie or one legume or one grain, one whole grain. Just choose one and then try it out. And you know what? It doesn't even matter if you don't like it. Just try another one because there's so many. And that's the same for the plant-based milks. People say, oh, I tried plant-based milk and it was horrible. Well, which one did you try? Oh, I tried, rice milk. Okay. So did you try soy milk? Nah. Did you try oat milk? Nah. Did you try coconut milk? Nah. Did you try almond milk? Nah. So, and not only that, with
Oh, you're on mute.
there was my
Mhm.
earphone fell out and I obviously pressed a button. Within those plant-based milks, there are 75 different brands of each type. So you are spoilt for choice.
Mm.
So don't think that if you try something once and you don't like it, that you write it off. You may write off that particular brand and you may write off that particular type of plant milk, but just keep going. Yeah, there'll be one that you like. And it's the same for beans and lentils. There are 20,000 different edible legumes are beans and lentils. So if you eat one bean and you don't like it, just try another one. There's going to be one bean that your body loves, and you'll
And
be able to find it
just to
eventually.
just to clarify for British people, we're not talking about Heinz baked beans, okay? Like,
No,
yes,
they're full of
that's a
sugar.
bean, but that is full of sugar and salt. Absolutely. Okay, so start. I love all of that. Thank you so much. So start with what you already know. Start with what you
Yep.
already love. Eat more of that, but also have a bit of an open mind because one bean to the
Mm.
next lentil, to the next lentil, to the next soybean, every single one of those individual beans and lentils, they're going to have different textures, different flavors. You're going to cook them differently. You're going to spice them differently. You're going to buy different brands of unsweetened soy milk, unsweetened coconut milk, unsweetened oat milk. You can make your own milk. There's so many different variations of them. If you think about how long it probably took you, if you already kind of consume dairy, think how long it took you to find your favorite cheese, right?
Mm.
Like when I ate cheese, I was very specific. Oh, I tried this cheese from this place and it was like this blue and it was this. Like I tried so many to get to that point where I found my favorite cheese. You're going to have to do the same when it comes to all of the beans, all of the lentils, all of the vegetables, all of the fruits, and how awesome and explorative it's that as well. Is
Yeah, what an adventure, right?
Right? Like, because what typically I do see is people go from a very limited diet because they have
Mm.
their set things, and then they think that going to plant-based is incredibly limited because within that frame of those set things that they already know, they are then getting rid of 25% of what they know. But
Mm.
actually, when you turn around, there's 300,000 edible plants on the planet, right?
Yeah,
Why are you narrowing it down to just the peas, sweet corn, and
seven. Yeah,
carrots that you eat on a daily basis? And I think that's a very
yeah.
British thing, those three.
Oh no, it's an everybody thing. It's not just a British thing. If you eat peas, potatoes, and carrots, and that's all you think you like, then there's 17 different types of potatoes you could try, you know?
Absolutely. Still yet
So,
to try and find a Japanese purple one over here in the UK, but I will get there.
oh, really?
I
Oh,
still
that's
haven't
sad.
eaten
I should ship
one.
some over to you.
Please do. Please do. All right,
I
let's
think
move
Gaz
on.
Oakley grows them, so you could give him a call.
Who?
Gaz Oakley, he's
Okay.
on Instagram. He's an awesome chef guy, and he's got a plot of land in Wales, and
Okay.
he's left the city behind, and he's being self-sufficient and growing all his uh, garden things. I think he grows the purple sweet potatoes. You could give him a call and say,
I'm
"Hey,
gonna
Gaz, I need some purple sweet potatoes, man. Send them
follow you
over."
on YouTube. Awesome, awesome. Maybe we can get him to plug in an advert in between this
Yeah.
video. We'll do a little pause now for a YouTube advert just in case. Let's move on. So there is a whole variety of foods you will never struggle to meet all your nutrients if you're doing it right, if you're doing it mindfully. You'll never struggle to meet all your macros because all plants are going to provide that. This is all pretty much common knowledge, I think, right now with all of the
Yeah, I wish it
research out
was.
there. It is once you've read Terry's book anyway.
Yeah.
But I want to kind of shift away from that and into mindset. Now, mindset is, as you know, a core pillar of the work that I do with my clients. And you cover emotional eating, food freedom in the book a little bit as well. So I just want to ask you, like, what role does mindset play in a successful lifestyle change? And how
I
do you
think
help people
it
get out of that?
plays a lot more than I give it credence to in the book. Like I do mention it and I say, it's really important to believe in yourself that you have the ability to do these things and that you need to be responsible for your own choices.
Mm,
And but I don't go into it in as much detail as say you do in your course with your clientele.
mm,
And I think that that could be like the subject for a new book, because in my book I give people the how to action steps to do the thing.
mm,
And there is an assumption, I guess, that the people reading the book actually want to do it and that they will look at their emotional state as they're doing it. Look, you're right. I do mention it, but I do not go into a lot of detail.
mhm,
But I think the most important thing is for people to just stop and um, take like a mental image of where they are and what they're doing. So, for example, a lot of the time I will just go to the fridge or the cupboard and just put my hand in a jar and grab some nuts or, grab something out of the fridge and stuff. And I'm not really thinking, what am I hungry? Do I need this? Is this going to benefit my goals? And so I think if we can just be a little bit more aware of when we're shoving food into our mouth and why we are doing it. Is it
mm,
because we're hungry, or is it because we just had a fight with our partner,
mhm,
or our computer just broke, or like me, as I was doing my hair, I tripped the electricity and my blow
mhm.
dryer didn't work. So that's why you got me like, like this. Um,
Busted.
or is it because we actually haven't eaten in 5 hours because we've been too busy and our first instinct is to go into the cookie jar?
Yeah.
So, look, I think the mindset part of it is very, very important.
Hmm.
And I think that's where a lot of us miss the boat.
Mm.
So,
And I think mindset as well, like moving from if you're adopting a whole food plant-based lifestyle, if you're reading this book and you just want more knowledge, fantastic, you've probably already got the right mindset. But I think, a mindset shift from reading some of the book, I have to be honest, still haven't got through it. I'm a very slow reader, Terry. So in reading some of the book, like it's really important to be open-minded. I think really important to be open-minded. And I don't know if anyone's heard of like the above the line or below the line. You've got below the line where you can be in blame, excuses, and denial. So maybe your culture, maybe your family, maybe just all your morals and principles. Maybe you come from a farming background where, it's like, well, this is what we do. It's all denial of what is actually possible nowadays and what you can do. And then you've got above the line. And this is a mindset shift that you can take where you take ownership of your own actions, you take ownership of your own food. Whether you've got a whole family to cater for or just yourself, you can still decide on what you put in your mouth. So then we've got to take on that mindset of, okay, I'm going to be responsible for the food that I put in my mouth. I need to be holding myself accountable for
yeah.
doing the right things that's aligned with the goals that I want, or the health that I want, or the body or the lifestyle that I want. And I do feel like mindset, if you're not open to change, it'll be very difficult to make that change personally.
Yeah, open to change is the first thing, isn't it? Absolutely. And to let go of old beliefs.
Mm,
So, I'll just be very basic. The belief that the only way I can get protein is from meat. That's a very basic thing. And if you
mm,
will open your mind to the fact that there is protein in all plant foods, there are amino acids in all plant foods, and they're all going to help you build your muscle tissue and make new proteins and new tissues in your body and do repairs and whatnot. If you're open to that concept, which is, by the way, scientific fact, then you're going to be more open to trying new things and not be stuck in your own ways. Absolutely. You said
yeah.
it absolutely perfectly.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so have you had any like maybe standout stories or feedback or from readers or from people that you've worked with, maybe since publishing the book or before publishing? Like, what resonates with you the most, or what stands out to you the most?
So I got a review on Amazon from a person I didn't know. And for those of you who don't know, when you release a book, the first thing you do is you ask your friends and family for a review. So it's all very nice to get your friends and family to say, "Oh yeah, this is a great book,"
And
etc.,
I
etc.
didn't
And
buy my copy on Amazon, so I can't review it.
you can actually review it as long as
Ah,
you have an Amazon account. Yeah,
okay, okay. I'll take a photo
yeah,
and
you
be like,
can.
I've
So
read it,
you go
I
ahead, go.
got it.
But I got this fantastic review from what I call just a normal person who bought the book on Amazon that I do not know. So that's always fantastic. And they must have bought the book in the first week because they said that what when reading the book, all of a sudden they realized why they were the way they were before, and
Mm,
that reading the book gave them clarity, and that now that they have taken action steps and done the things in the book, their health has improved immeasurably. And it's been, I think they said 2 months, which means they must have bought the book like on the first day that it came out. So I was so happy because that's what I want to do, right? I'm happy that my friends and family buy the book. But what I really want to happen is that people that I don't know, people who are concerned for their health, they buy the book, they take the action steps, and then they get the healthy result. That
mm,
was everything to me. I was so
mm.
excited to get that review on Amazon. And they
Oh.
say that for every review on Amazon, there's like 100 people who buy the book and there's no review. So hopefully that means there's 100 people out there who got the same result.
I love that. That really warms my heart. Like I've known you for a short while now, over a year, and it really like I totally understand when someone reaches out that you didn't know that you were able to touch their lives and change their lives. It makes just that one review totally worth all of that stress and worries making the book, knowing as
Yeah,
well that you've got the thousands of reviews to come as well, the thousands of
yeah,
lives that you can change as well. So that's
yeah.
beautiful.
A few years ago, I released a magazine which people can get for free on my website. It's like 30 pages, and it's basically why shouldn't you eat meat? Why shouldn't you eat dairy? What can you eat instead? Or just real basic kind of stuff. It's 30 pages. It's got like 5 recipes in it. So one of my husband's school friends, like from 30 years ago or whatever, he got the magazine, and unbeknownst to me, and then put a video out on Facebook saying how he didn't even think he needed to lose weight. He lost 15 pounds just by following the guidelines, very general guidelines in this little magazine. I was blown away. I was just like, wow. And he said that, he was sleeping better and he had more energy. And I was like,
I love that. I love that. And I want to share that celebration with you as well from like the challenges that I've run as well on 5 days and things like that. Even the free content. Like a lot of people will say to me, "Oh, I can't afford your services. I can't afford your coaching." I'm like, doesn't matter. You can totally get results with very, very minimal input, minimal investment. I've got a 7 day
yes,
free meal plan. You've got a 30 page magazine that has created results. A book is
yeah,
dirt fucking cheap. Sorry, but a book is
yeah,
dirt cheap,
exactly.
right? It's dirt cheap. I've got a 28-day meal plan that's dirt cheap as well. There's so many free and low cost resources and support and help out there. I mean, on my Facebook group, I've got about 100 videos at the moment, although Facebook is deleting them wonderfully.
Yes, by the minute.
100, yeah, about 100 like video trainings as well. There's so much out there. There's so much support that you can get, so you can start getting the results.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going a little bit off track, but I think that just goes to show you how much we love creating results and creating change in other people and transformation in other people's lives. So
Yeah.
I'll let that one slip. Um, so I hear all the time that people feel like they've tried everything. I've tried everything and still haven't been able to stick with a healthy lifestyle. Now, I know how I would approach this with my clients. I know how I would approach this on a free 5 day or 3 day challenges. I'd love to hear your response, like when someone feels that way or when they say that to you.
Well, what people tend to do is try. So they do something for 5 days, they don't see immediate results, so they give up.
Hmm.
And if you want lasting lifestyle change, you need to commit. You need to make it a lifestyle and continue and let your body catch up. It doesn't take you 5 days to put on 40 pounds. It takes you 5 decades or however long it took, right, to put on that weight. It doesn't take you 5 days to get high cholesterol or high blood pressure or fatty liver disease. It takes a really long time.
Yeah.
And there needs to be, you need to lose the expectation that fixing this problem or these problems or this unhappiness you have in your body, this malaise within your body, this disease, which is what disease is going to take 5 days. It's not
Can
going
I
to take
just
five
can I
days.
just pause you on that? If anyone's listening to this, not watching this, Terry just separated the word disease, right? It's
That's right.
dis-ease, like that separation in there. That's exactly what disease is. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you for clarifying. And look, magical things can happen in very short periods of time, as evidenced by my client whose pain in her shoulders went away and she began to get extra energy. So she didn't need to go to sleep every daytime at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Things can happen quickly.
Yeah.
People discount them because they didn't lose 40 pounds in 5 days, right? So the thing is, you have to give yourself grace. You have to give yourself time. You have to give your body time. We are all a reflection of our past actions. We are not who we are today because of what we did yesterday. We are who we are today because of what we did yesterday, the day before that, the day before that, et cetera, for, ad infinitum. And in order to see lasting lifestyle change, you need to be committed to a lasting lifestyle change, which means you won't change unless you change.
Mhm. Absolutely. So pull your finger out and do the work.
Yeah, yeah. And then that's another thing too. I found the reason why I wrote this book is because you're right. It is a very low cost option. It's
Mm.
an entry level book for you to get in and start doing the work because some people would, and I don't know if you've had this ever happen to you, but I would get a new client and they would pay me the money and then they'd not show up.
Mhm.
And it doesn't matter how many lovely messages I left for them or emails or tried to get them on the phone or whatever. Now, they've paid the money. They don't turn up. They expect results because of the transactional process.
Mm.
And health is not like that. Look,
Mm.
if you go and buy a new car and then you pick up that car, you've got instant gratification. You've got the new car. It smells beautiful. You feel like a winner, right? With health, it's not like that. When there is a transaction, whether it's the spending the 25 bucks on buying the book or it's spending more money on a personalized coaching program or whatever it is, in order to change your health, there is work to be done. And I think people need to understand that they need to take responsibility for their own actions and that it's not just a transaction, it's a work thing and it will take time. And I'm not saying it's going to be hard. It's not going to be hard. You just have to be focused and you need to want the outcome. And if you
Mm.
want the outcome and you take the daily habit steps to reach that outcome, the outcome is inevitable. It's
Mm.
like when I ran a marathon. I thought, there's no way I can run a marathon. It's too hard. I'll never do it. So I hired a coach. I got the program, and all I had to do was every day look at what I had to do. Now, I knew that if I didn't do whatever it was on that day, run 5 miles or whatever, then I would be one day late on my marathon training and I may not make the marathon because the marathon's on a certain day, right? So the training program, it takes you step by step until you get to that peak, which is the marathon. And so by having that plan, I knew, okay, today I'm running 5 miles. I don't want to run 5 miles, 5 miles. I don't care. I got to do it. Otherwise, I'm going to miss my goal, which was the marathon. And doing a healthy lifestyle, it's kind of the same thing. If you want the outcome, you have to take the daily steps. And every day you don't take the daily steps, it pushes your outcome further and further into the distance. And that's when people get discouraged. So I think if you take responsibility and you take action steps every day, no matter how small, you are going to reach your health outcome.
I like that. And I like when you said, we are a reflection of our past actions. I think that's so very true. And one analogy that I kind of use with clients is imagine if you've got two jam jars. One of them is your old version of you, one of them is your new version of you. Every single time you make a single decision, whether it's to press snooze on the alarm clock, to have an extra bite at breakfast, to finish that plate off or the sandwich off at lunch, to have a Coke over a Diet Coke, you are creating an action, you are making a decision, and you are making a decision for one of those jars. So every single decision that you make, are you making a decision for the person that you were, or are you making a decision for the person that you are going to become? And over time, that stacks up. So over time, you don't fill up a coin jar immediately overnight. You fill up a coin jar with individual decisions, and that builds up. It is the compound effect.
Oh, I like that. You could put like a pound in the jar every time you made a good health decision. And then at the end, you could buy yourself a new car.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know how much weight you're telling me I need to lose there, Terry, but
No, no, no.
maybe I'll
Every
be able
time
to
you make
buy
a
a
good
new pair of
decision,
earrings.
no, you know what I mean? Like, okay, I'm going to
Yeah.
choose to a piece of fruit instead of a muffin. Put the
Yeah.
pound in the because you know what? The muffin costs £4 and the piece of fruit costs one. So you're saving money anyway. So
There we
you put
go.
the money in the jar every time you do something that's healthy. It's not related to weight at all. And then before you know it, your jar is filled with money. And then you can do things because people are motivated by
I'm
money,
going to run
aren't
out
they?
of money before I
Me.
do decisions, I tell you that much. But I actually had a client who did that one week, and she said it really it really took her back, and it really made her recognize just how every single little decision is making a difference. So, if someone's watching this, if someone's reading this, I definitely urge you to do that just for a couple of days or even a week, and you can see how every single little tiny decision that you pass off, that you forget within 3 seconds, is the reason why you are mounting up to either a weight gain, a weight plateau, a weight maintenance, and not a weight loss. Or when we talk about health or lifestyle disease, right? High cholesterol, high blood pressure, all of those things too. So I've taken up so much of your
Absolutely.
time. I do have a couple of questions. What does being fabulous, considering your book is Fabulous Health, what does being fabulous mean to you? How can we start
Oh my
embodying that?
goodness. I love being fabulous. Being fabulous to me is you wake out of bed just excited for the day. You have energy. You're excited to find out what's going to happen for the day. You are motivated to do your exercise because you know your exercise, makes you feel good. So you're excited to do your exercise. You're excited by the food on your plate because you know that it's healthy and nourishing and delicious. You are excited for the world. Being fabulous is all about having a really good positive attitude about your own life, your own health, and the world. And look, I'm not saying it means being absolutely perfect. It doesn't mean being at the perfect weight. It doesn't mean having the perfect blood pressure, although that does help. Um, it means being on your way to being the best person that you can be. And I love being fabulous. Yeah, it's awesome. And I want everybody to feel that because when sometimes you meet people and you say, "Oh, how you doing?" and they're like, "Oh, can't complain." Well, yeah, you are complaining just by that attitude. That's like low energy, right? Just even if you don't feel fabulous in the beginning, project fabulous, and your body will catch up. Your body will say, "Hey, oh, we have energy today, apparently." And we want to do fun things. Well, okay, I'm in. Your body's never going to go, "Oh no, get back on the couch." If you have that attitude of today is going to be a fantastic, positive, fantastic day. And I know for some people that could be hard. Maybe they're struggling, and to get that level is too difficult for them. But just one level a little bit higher than wherever you are now in your energy is going to be beneficial for you.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Totally agree. Finally, I couldn't sign off without telling everyone where they can get your book from. How can they get
Oh,
hold of
thank
you?
you so much.
How can they get your book?
So the book's available all over the world on Amazon, and it's called Fabulous Health by Terri Chrisman. You may have to put the name and my name and the title of the book in the search bar to find it right now. Or if you live in America, I do have copies of the hardcover and the paperback in my possession, and you can buy them on fabuloushealthbook.net, and I will personally sign it for you. But unfortunately, I can't do that for people overseas because the
You
postage would
didn't
be
sign
just,
my copy.
I did not sign your copy. I'm so sorry because
No,
the postage, it would cost like, I worked it out, it was going to cost like $45 US just to post the book,
screw
which
that.
I thought
Yeah, I
was
get it.
ridiculous,
I get
right?
it. Just sign me a piece of
But
paper. Send
having
me a
said
card.
that, if you live in England or somewhere and I'm coming to England, I'll come and sign your book for you. Tell me
Amazing.
where you are. I'll meet you at a
You're
lovely
gonna
plant-based
regret.
restaurant and I'll sign your book for you.
You're gonna regret that. Maybe we should all just go to Brighton because there's so many places to eat out in Brighton, which is where I live. So
That's it. The
we'll come
next
down.
time I'm in Brighton, I will come and I will sign everybody's book.
Amazing. All right, Terry, is there anything else that you would like to add about whole food plant-based lifestyle, lifestyle disease, anything from your expertise that we haven't already covered yet? Anything on your mind? There's a
I
lot.
think
That's a lot. I get
there
it.
is a lot, but I'm going to be really brief. Number one, if you're just starting, buy the book. Like it's really going to help you. And I don't want to sound like a salesperson, but I wrote the book because I want to help people, not because I want to sell books. I really want to help people, and it is a really, really low cost entry into learning how to be a healthier person. And if you need more personalized help, then I just cannot recommend Bianca enough. She's awesome and you should go and see her. I don't see private clients anymore. I do consultations with people. I give people an hour and I give them the kickstart, right? This is how you can start your kickstart your journey. If you want custom personalized help, then just call Bianca. She's freaking awesome.
Oh, you're so cute. I didn't even have to ask you to say anything.
Well, there's two options, right? The do it yourself version
There
or the
you go.
help me version.
DIY, DFY. Amazing. All right. Well, thank you so much, Terry, for coming on. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us and some tips, really good tips for where to start and how to up level. And yeah, I appreciate you. Underneath this video, I will drop in some links and drop in a description on where people can find you. So hopefully we can get this video out there, share to everyone, share to all your friends, guys. If you're watching this, share this video because not only is this video going to help people who are curious, it's going to help people save their lives, right? If I mean,
Mm.
I've had an impact on my dad who has so many health conditions, he won't listen to me. But something that I say, I plant a seed, he hears something else somewhere else. Now he has oat milk, right? Trying to get him onto soy milk next, but it's one step.
One
And
step at a time. Mhm.
absolutely, absolutely. Just by sharing this video, you do not know how much of an impact you can have on someone else's life. Beverly, one of my clients watching this right now, I can see she shared one of my things, and we have been able to save many of her friends' lives and help them as well. So
That's
share,
awesome.
share, 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 get the book, and I will see you very soon. Thank you so much, Terry.
Okay. Thanks,
Take
Bianca.
care.
See you
You're
later.
welcome.
Bye bye.
Bye.